Alright, so we're going to try a new feature of the Pixel 7 Pro, and that is, if you can't see right now, macro focus mode. So the macro focus mode that was available in Photos. As of the most recent update, this would be June of 2023, you can now get macro mode during videos. We're shooting 4K 60 non-HDR just because realistically things don't take kindly to the HDR yet. It's not as standardized as one would hope. And if anything, you guys, if you've seen some weird, either washed out or way too saturated ones, that's HDR, either from this phone or iPhones. Now, why are we taking a close look? Well, this is my new copper one from Tactile Keychains. Here's my blackened copper. That's how dark it was when I bought it. It is now, like, I almost want to shine it up. It's so so shiny. Well, part of the reason why this used to be my main one, this copper one, I liked a little bit extra heft. But if you see, this is the nub that actually locks the blade out. That's the nub that locks it in. But because there's a lot more stress on it, that nub is severely worn down. Because the blades you use are, in this case, steel, and they're carbide coated. I use the Stanley, you can use DeWalt, same difference. I think Milwaukee's very similar as well. However, that's harder than the copper, and this was just milled in here. And I was like, oh, I had to change the blade. I might as well pop apart and send a message about that. And I've sent it before about wear. Turns out they've actually fixed it, and I don't know if this is this way on all new TUKK XL knives, or if it's just on the softer material ones. But they actually have threaded inserts now that are essentially like screws, like little stubby screws without a head, essentially, that are screwed in, and that's what's locking it. So that's going to be like a steel or even a hardened steel, rather than the copper itself doing the locking. The other thing they changed up is, if you look here, there's actually threading in the back side of this to screw the clip on, right on this thin back piece. And I already knew this had been done, but on the newer back pieces, on the newer design, and you can tell that because the screws are much farther apart. So as an example here, see, or if I line up the front here, much farther apart. There's no threading on this back piece. That's how they can make it out of carbon fiber, like this is right here, right? Because when you screw in the clip here, you're actually screwing it into the top. So this is where all the complex stuff is done. In the back, they can just, make it out of really whatever. Kind of nice, balances off the heavy of the copper with it's a unique feeling with the lightweight of that carbon fiber. Definitely harder to manufacture. I have not taken apart any of my newer TUKK HDs as well in this same way to see if they're made this same way. Just thought I'd compare. Originally, why I popped it open is I wanted to see, because this one's copper as well, I wanted to see how worn this is. Well, it's not at all, because turns out, based on previous feedback I had sent in, they had already, I don't know, I'm not saying it was just me, but at one point they asked for wear of the people who own copper. And I've had this guy, this was my first one I actually bought. Maybe not first, one of the first. So it's seen, like I said, it was black. It used to be that color. It was black and copper color. It is now not. So let me know what you guys would do with this. I mean, I'm still keeping it around as like kind of one of my extra ones, just staying in office. I don't trust it for the heavy duties though. With that, see that locking nub is almost half gone, so there's a lot of play in that blade. Whereas here, they've obviously resolved that. Interestingly enough. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about both the knives, their design, that sort of stuff, and how well did the macro focus work on the Pixel 7 Pro. Let's see how close we can get here. Look at that. If you're wondering, I'm like sub an inch away. That's cabinet liner. It's the button. There's the screws. think it's really awesome that they made this available for video now, not just photos. Like, the photos part was one of the #1 reasons I picked up the Pixel 7 Pro and replaced my Pixel 6. So useful, so cool. I use it all the time for various things. And now I can actually show you guys in the video because I can record it. Before I would just pop up photos.